won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's S-U-P-P-S, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the WNBA coverage. We have movement going on in the standings and the rankings, as well as some information when it comes to the Commissioner's Cup. So we're just going to go ahead and get started in the standings and talk about some highlights, etc. in the WNBA. So again, I said we have movement. Just as we talked about before, Connecticut Suns and the New York Liberty had a tight race there for first in the East. And Liberty, with their win and Connecticut's loss, with their win, they actually moved to first in the East. So East, we have New York Liberty at 1, led the way by Stewie and Sabrina. Connecticut Suns dropped to second. Atlanta Dreams third. Chicago Skies moved to fourth. Indiana Fever fifth. And the Washington Mystics at 6, where the Washington Mystics are the ones that beat the Connecticut Suns this past week and kind of changed the trajectory of the Suns and the Liberty standings. And we also have the game to talk about between the Chicago Skies and the Indiana Fever, obviously with the rivalry there, but we'll get to that after the standings and as well as the leaders. In the West, the Minnesota Lynx are sitting at 1 with a 3-game lead behind second, Seattle Storm. Las Vegas Aces move up to third. Phoenix Mercury at 4th, LA Sparks at 5th, and the Dallas Wings are at 6th. Leaders, point leaders, again, no surprise here. A'ja Wilson at 27.8. Then we have A'ja Wilson leading rebounds as well at 11.6. Angel Reese is very close in second at 11.1. So we could have a potential for Reese to potentially win the rebound champ as rookie. As well as, I'll also go into some shout-outs for Andrew Reese. Assists per game, Melissa Thomas at 7.7. Sitting at second from the Phoenix Mercury, Natasha Cloud, phenomenal baller. One of my favorites, actually. Natasha Cloud sitting there at 7.1. So, again, less than 1 difference there between 1 and 2 for assists per game. Steals per game is still going to be Ogabole for Dallas Wings at 2.7. And Nafisa Collier sitting at 2, tied for second between her and Ryan Howard at 2. No, there's a 3-way tie for second between Nafisa Collier, Ryan Howard, and Brianna Stewie at 2.2 steals per game. And then block per game is Mag Bolger from the Seattle Storms at 2.5 blocks per game, and right behind her is A'ja Wilson at 2.4. I believe A'ja Wilson was at 2.5 until this past game, so she's right there at 2.4, 2.5 steals per game. Now, some quick highlights. I do want to talk about the game. I believe it was Sunday, so yesterday. The Indiana Fever, Chicago Skies. Indiana Fever, again, this is a big rivalry that the WNBA is marketing between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because they had that rivalry in college between Iowa and LSU. I almost said South Carolina. Between Iowa and LSU. So they're kind of taking that same rivalry and marketing it and trying to keep the hype, which I love the rivalry, to keep the hype and the rivalry around this one. And it also makes sense because they're both in the East between the Chicago Skies and Indiana Fever. Indiana Fever was up on them 2-0 in the series. I believe they play 4 times a year. They were up 2-0. Chicago was still trying to get that one, and it was a pretty it was swinging pretty much in Indiana's favor for the majority of the game there until Chicago started to figure it out. They came out with hardcore intensity on defense, and Angel Reese and Kennedy Clark, dogs. Absolute dogs. Angel Reese had 25 points, 16 rebounds. She was just dominating the boards, something she's been doing since college, and she's continuing in the W, which she also gets her 8th consecutive double-double as a rookie. That's going, I believe that breaks the rookie. I believe that breaks the rookie record, and she's trying to catch, I believe it is Candace Parker's all-time record, which I believe is 12 consecutive double-doubles. I'm not 100% sure on those numbers, but I do remember during the game they were talking about that, and she's chasing a historical record in her rookie season. Caitlin Clark had 17 points, 13 assists, and 4 steals. And again, I had shouted out Kennedy Carter, I believe, last episode or maybe a couple episodes ago. But Kennedy Carter is becoming phenomenal. She was the front runner for 6th man or 6th person of the year. But now she has been inserted into the starting lineup, and she's been playing phenomenal since she's starting. Kennedy Carter had 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists on 8 and 12 shooting. The game was phenomenal. It came down to the wire. The game, Angel Reese hits a turnaround, hits a little full speed. She hits a turnaround bucket to tie the game. Then the Kennedy Clark gets a stop. They go up. Then the Fever come down. They tie it back and forth, back and forth. It came down to like the last 20 seconds of the game. And at the very end, Chicago Skies win by 1 point, 88-87. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. So so they're gonna obviously continue that rivalry there. And big shout outs to New York Liberty and Stewie and Sabrina. They're playing great basketball. They're starting to figure it out. The Connecticut Suns, they're not playing bad. It's just such a tight race. They're still, if I remember correctly, they're 13-3. They've only had 3 losses on the season. But New York Liberty's 15-3. So 15-3. Big ups to, and that also makes a move for Chicago Skies. They're starting to figure it out. I believe they keep that defensive intensity. I could see them catching up to the Atlanta Dreams, because Atlanta Dreams and the Chicago Skies are tied at 6-9 in the East, so they could easily slide up. Now, between the third place, between Dreams and Sky and Connecticut, it's a 7-game difference. So there's going to be a big gap there, but I can see Chicago Skies making some moves and moving up to that third place spot. Now in the West, the Las Vegas Aces are looking good. They had a very, where is it at? I gotta find the game. I have my notes. Give me just a sec. Man, when was this? Oh, so they had a very dominant game. So another loss that Connecticut Suns suffered was against the Las Vegas Aces this was Thursday. On Thursday, it was the Las Vegas Aces, Connecticut Suns. The Las Vegas Aces had a dominant win. They won by 11, but at one point the lead was, I believe, 20 plus or close to 20. Aja Wilson had 26 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals. I mean, what are we talking about? The Las Vegas Aces, again, I talked about Las Vegas Aces. They have they score the fastest pace, most points per game. They, I believe, have the #1 rated offense, and they have they're tied 9th in defense. And I talked about how they figure out their defense and applying pressure on defense. I think they're going to be a team that's going to make moves. From the game I saw against the best team at the time, the best team in the W, if they continue to play this level of ball, I think they can make moves and move up the ladder in the standings. So to break down the Las Vegas Aces, Aja Wilson, 26 points. Kelsey Plum, 18 points, 6 of 14. You have Alicia Clark had 11 points. So 11 points. So you had more than one person getting it done for the Las Vegas Aces. And like I said, they are sitting at 3rd. Now with the Aces, they are within striking distance of the 2nd team. Unlike in the East, that big gap between Connecticut and the 3rd place. Seattle Storm is at 2 in the West, and the Aces are just 2 games behind them. And they're 3 games behind Minnesota. So I could see the Aces with that high-powered offense going on a 5-6 game win streak or winning, 5 of the next 7, or something like that, to where they can be sitting there nice in the West at number 1. So we have some exciting stuff. There's not a game till Thursday, so we got a few days before another game for the W, but we're going to see some more exciting games. We're going to see some more basketball, and we're going to see how these standings play out and who starts to elevate their game here on the WNBA coverage. Like, comment, subscribe wherever you're watching and listening to this, so you can stay up to date at things going on here at IV Talks Podcast Network, and we'll catch you guys next week.
I'm gonna chase my dreams, my